Tuesday. I'm in the garage. I got some orders in. I gotta make them. Oh my god. Okay. Phew. First step is to cut these things out, put them together, and print them. Let's see. What is going on in the world today? What do we gotta talk about? I mean, my feed is just filled with chiropractor videos and Iran and Israel. So what do you guys want to talk about? Okay, I guess I'll talk about the chiropractic videos first. I hate it so. I mean, I don't hate it. I just find that it's crazy. You click on one chiropractic video, and next thing you know, your whole feed is filled with chiropractor videos. I feel like, okay, if you went back in time and you went back to school, right? And you have that guidance counselor comes to you and they tell you what jobs you could be in the future. I feel like if I went back to school and I get to live that part of my life again, I'll be a chiropractor. Because who okay, who would have thought that chiropractors now are just, I mean, if you watch social media, you feel like chiropractic videos are basically like um, guys oogling and fondling over like girls in yoga pants. you, I click on one chiropractic video. Next thing you know, it's just filled, and it's getting crazier and crazier. I think I've talked about this a few times now. The chiropractic videos need to be studied because it's getting crazier and crazier. Now they're doing this thing. I don't know. Have you guys seen this? Where they're taking a finger or some object, and then I guess they go right at the right at your tailbone, and then they're like, it looks crazy. I mean, I know they know that we know what they're doing, but the chiropractic videos need to stop. Okay, they need to stop because I'm telling you, it's the new generation. Okay, this is gonna be America or just the whole world in the future. Okay, all the ladies are just gonna be making TikToks or OF, and all the guys are just gonna be chiropractors, and then that's how the economy is gonna work. We're just gonna be trading videos and adjustments all day, because like it's getting more and more ridiculous. The chiropractic videos. All right, that's enough on chiropractic videos. I mean, there's not much to say. I just say that what a business model. What a business model. Who would have thought? Okay, if you were to go back in time, would you rather be a chiropractor or I'm trying to think of a more modern, a street interviewer? Like, how many street interviewers are there now? Literally, people just walking up to you and asking you crazy questions, and you could make the next Hawk Tuah girl. Which, you know what's crazy? Now I'm thinking about the Hawk Tuah girl. Is that the guy that found her doesn't get enough credit. He doesn't get enough credit for finding this person and just making her a millionaire overnight on a street interview. Think about how many people now are more willing to do street interviews because they could be the next Hawk Tuah girl. That guy's not. That guy that originally found the Hawk Tuah girl. He doesn't get enough credit. he doesn't get enough because he made a millionaire out of thin air. Kind of like Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil unleashed what's her name? Bad baby, bad baby on the world, and he doesn't get enough credit for that. I don't understand why she's famous at all, but to each his own. To each their own. All right, so I need to a chiropractic video problem on my algorithm because it's like I said, it's getting out of control. And sometimes you cannot help but press on them because literally it's like girl in yoga clothes and then some creepy guy like right on them. And I thought that this new, more informed generation would know that I always thought the chiropractic stuff doesn't work at all. And so I figured this new informed uh, generation would know not to go to chiropractors. I don't know. All right. Oh, but then again, you know what's interesting about chiropractors? Is that car insurance. I mean, I feel like how much money do they. Okay. Someone needs to make a chiropractor channel on the real. Okay, I got it. You know how they have those shows like The Office or I'm watching Tires on Netflix right now with Shane Gillis and cast, and you know it's almost Office like, you know, but a tire shop, right? Except for the interviews, they need to do one for chiropractor office because I want to they if you depend on the internet for and you're like, oh man, this is what chiropractors look like this looks awesome, you get to like uh throw your body at hottie bodies all day, it seems awesome, but they need to show the real life of chiropractic work where it's like old ladies and whatnot. All right, next one. All right. Next subject, my feed has been on all day, is the Iran Iraq. I mean, oh my God, the Iran Israel thing. The other day, I saw someone reporting on this, and I was thinking about this too when I first. Literally, this hit my when I that first day. I think did I talk about this? The first day that Israel attacked Iran, right? Netanyahu, whatever his name is, put out a presser, right? And he was basically trying to talk about why did they do it. And in his presser, he was saying that they were days away, Iran was days away from a nuclear weapon. And when I heard it, I thought it sounded strange. And then I saw another footage. It was like it was a news person. They're doing interviews on the streets of Israel after one of the missiles landed, and I guess they had some government guy and the news reporter at one of the sites in Israel. And then they were talking, and then he said something similar too, where he was like, "Oh, they were days away from being nuclear, right?" And you know, and that's why we had to strike first, strike fast, you know, Cobra Kai on them, you know, strike first, strike hard. Offense is the best defense, you know. And then they're like, "This is self-defense. We gotta strike first, strike hard." And I'm like, and I was hearing this, and I was like, "This sounds so weird." It sounded weird, and then I saw someone put together a timeline, right, of Netanyahu going back to like, is it like 2010 or something like that, somewhere around there, 2010, around the 2010s, talking about how Iran was close to nuclear power, being nuclear back then, and then it had a timeline of like, oh, they're so close, they're months away, they're days away, and it was like 2010, 2015, 2018. Every few years, he's like, they're so close. We gotta strike first, strike hard, strike fast. And I was like, I thought I heard this before. You know? And I guess and then yeah, so today I found some clips of Netanyahu like talking about it, and later when I get to the computer, we'll watch them together and we'll talk about it. I'm in the garage right now. Gotta get this order out. But yeah, so that seems so odd. Um, it's what I'm thinking right now. It's almost as if like I picked up a rock, and then someone threw another rock at me, and then I'm like, "Why did you throw that rock at me?" And they're like, "You were days away from developing guns." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I picked up a rock." That's literally what it sounded like when Israel how Israel is justifying their attack in Iran. It's like I picked up a rock, right? And then some guy's like, "Oh my God, he's got a rock!" And then they're throwing other rocks at me. I'm like, "Ah, why are you throwing rocks at me?" And they're like, "You're days away from enriching and refining that rock into a gun." I'm like, "What? Wasn't even close, bro." And it's like every few years, it's like they're gonna do it. I don't know. All right, we'll watch those later. That's fun. I love seeing. I mean, it's not a good thing to see it, but when you see like world leaders or politicians get kind of like called out on their BS, you know, it's not a good thing because you know you're being lied to, you know, but it's still fun to see the BS that's going on in the world. I I think I've said it a gajillion times already that it, in a way, this is my thoughts on it. This whole situation. In a way, I feel like this is just an excuse to sell more weapons, and that's how we're gonna spend our way out of this economic downturn. That's what they did before. You know, if for example, you know, if 9/11 didn't happen, and we didn't spend our way into that 9/11, like everything that happened at 9/11, I don't think Bush or Obama would have happened. Like, because things weren't doing very well, and then all of a sudden we got into that, and then we're gravy, doing good, we're selling lots of guns, selling lots of ammo. Like like yesterday we're looking at it, right, on the other stream. Each one of these interceptor missiles, right, that Israel launches to shoot down the other missile, when Iran shoots the missiles into Israel, each one of those missiles is $2 million. Think about that. That's $2 million that basically the U.S. would make every single time if Iran shoots a missile over. So you kind of like, I bet you that there's some like lizard guy in the Pentagon going like so excited every single time that they shoot missiles in, you know. And then on the other side of that, I believe Iran uses Russian air defense systems, right? I believe Iran uses Russian air defense systems that they bought from Russia, uh, maybe like 5 or 6 or so years ago. The years I forget, but it's just a little bit back. So they make money on this, you know. Um, would be best if you go full on Lord of War on them, and uh, some Pentagon back end CIA guy goes to Iran and be like, "Yo, you guys are getting decimated by U.S. fighter jets, $60 million a pop, right? You guys are getting decimated by these, you know, American-made fighter jets. I mean, America makes the best military weaponry. You know that. And if you want to fight against these fighter jets, you need U.S. made anti-air missiles. You know what I mean? And then you go full on Lord of War on them, and you sell both sides, and you just like sit back and watch the money roll in." Like, I bet you that there's someone right now trying to figure out how to get that going. Do you remember Lord of War? Great movie. If you haven't seen it in a while, go back, watch it again. And no spoilers because this movie's super old, okay? There's that great part where Nicolas Cage was feeling down, like he wasn't gonna, like, like he's just getting started, and he wasn't gonna, he didn't get there yet. And but and he had a trouble like putting money together, and all of a sudden America commits to a big war, and they needed, oh no, I'm sorry, America was pulling out, the war ended, and then the U.S. had a huge surplus stockpile now of weaponry, of like M14s or whatever, and he was like, like suck it all in. And then that's when he started really, really blowing up. Because I think, if I remember correctly, I too haven't seen the movie in a while. This is just what I remember off the top of my head. If I remember correctly, how he got started was he sold his uncle, who was a big time guy at a Russian, I'm sorry, USSR, not Russia, USSR, Soviet Union warehouse, weapons warehouse. And he was just selling everything his uncle had until his uncle got raided, and then he needed a new supplier. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, but I bet you there's some guy right now super excited about the potential of U.S. getting dragged into this Israeli conflict. Alright, you guys want to get real crazy? Okay, let's try to solve the Middle East, or at least this whole conflict right now in a garage. We'll just brainstorm. Keep in mind, I'm just some guy in my garage making stuff, talking to you guys on the internet, but we'll figure this out. Okay, how are we gonna solve this whole issue with Israel and all its buddies around it? Because Israel's problem is that they are in the hornet's nest of enemies all around them. You know what I mean? They're in a very bad spot, and the people in that area don't feel like they belong because if I know this history correctly, they made Israel after World War II. Yes, someone could correct me, and they just basically took a plot of land and it's like, this is Israel now, and all the people that were living there before were like, what the hell? And they're like, you guys go over here to this place, basically the Gaza Strip, and then that's basically in a nutshell what happened there. All right, how are we gonna solve this problem? Okay, let's get creative here, okay, guys? How are we gonna solve this problem? I don't think I think the top solution that comes to my mind is to just move some people around. They moved people into Israel to get them there. That means moving is totally possible. I'm thinking, okay, this is my thoughts, and it's totally random. And keep in mind, as I'm thinking about it, it sounds dumb, but at the same time, it is a possibility. Okay, take everybody. Oh, okay, never mind. No, the more I think about it, the more it's just gonna evaporate the problem down the road. We're just kicking it down. Okay, this is my initial thought. Take everybody from the Gaza Strip, right, and move them into Greenland. The reason why I know it's not gonna work because my biggest issue with all these conflicts has always been the circle of hate. Now, if you don't know the circle of hate, It's basically as these, let's just take the Gaussians, or you could even say Iranians right now, because they're getting hit hard, and civilians mostly, right? The circle of hate. I attack you in front of your kid. Kind of the Kill Bill, just a Kill Bill thing. I attack you in front of your kid. I take you out. Your kid watches this. Hate fills the heart. Your kid grows up, gets revenge on me in front of my kid. My kid grows up, has hate in the heart, goes back, takes you out in front of your family. You know what I mean? And we'll just keep on going around and around and around. And that's why this whole issue in the Middle East will never get solved, because um, they keep attacking each other, like through these like complete, I guess, like non-precise ways, and they keep killing innocent people, and then those people's families grow up, or at least, or people see this and then they grow up, and then hate builds inside, because they're like, that those people over there, even though some of those people didn't have anything to do with anything, those people over there took out my family or my friends. And then they grow up, when this, once they get strong enough, or have opportunity and chance, they come back and they do something. And then and it just keeps on going. And maybe that's why this current Trumpian administration is so paranoid. Maybe some deep players inside, because to be honest, I honestly don't feel like, at least just based on actions, I don't feel like Trump's in power. It doesn't feel that way. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong on this. Do you guys feel like he's in power? It doesn't. I know he acts like it, but sometimes you see little cracks in the power dynamic, and I don't know. It doesn't make sense, some of the things he's doing at all. Like, it seems like someone else is making him do things. Like I think I talked about this yesterday. The whole ICE thing, right? Or boom. Spice. The whole ICE thing, how he's kind of looks like he's wavering a little bit. Like, we all knew when the ICE raid started, we all knew what was gonna happen, what was gonna do. And then now, like 2 days ago, this was 2 days ago, by the way. Now things have completely changed, because no one's talking about it anymore. Barely anyone's talking about the ICE stuff anymore. I feel like it's not as front page, not as front and center as it was before the Israel-Iran war. But it seemed like he was cracking a little bit. Oh, speaking of which, you know what I was thinking would be fun? I think I know how to solve the ICE raids in a simple way. That can be done. Oh, I wasn't paying attention, and there's a defect here. Maybe I could just press it. Yeah, there's a defect here. Maybe I could just repress it on, and it'll work out. I want to solve. Oh yeah, I think I can fix this. I want to solve this whole ICE thing right now. Okay. So the whole ICE thing is kind of interesting if you really think about it. They are stopping people that they feel like are illegals, right? This is the plan, okay? If you guys don't want to get raided anymore, go to a Goodwill, right? Go to a Goodwill or any kind of those thrift clothes stores, and start dressing like you've been here for a long time. Because if you really think about what ICE does, because what's really interesting is that they kind of just stop people at random, right? And they think that you're like, oh, that guy looks illegal. Let's go talk to him. That's basically their strategy, because as a like normal citizens don't carry documentation to prove that they are citizens, right? So as long as you look like you're a citizen and they don't talk to you, there's a good chance that you're just gonna keep on going on with your day. So this is what I'm saying, that if you're, let's say you dress, you look like you just came here, blend in a little more. You know, go to Goodwill, and go get some like some regular, more American looking clothes, and just start blending in a little more. Or he said that they weren't gonna, he wasn't gonna send ICE into hotels and stuff anymore, and farms and whatnot, because they because he has a hotel. Okay, I got it. You know where ICE, you know where there's the thing where you hide in plain sight? The best place for all these illegals to hide is actually in Mar-a-Lago. Because he's never gonna, there, ICE is never gonna be patrolling Mar-a-Lago. You get it? They'll never suspect it. And if you make yourself an integral part of Mar-a-Lago, and like you're like, you become like head of some department in Mar-a-Lago, if they deport you, people are gonna miss you, and then maybe the news will get back to Trump. They're like, hey, we need this guy. you know and so you're actually taking a hit for the cause. Just throwing it out there, because it is a weird thought. My friend was talking to me about this the other day, and he was saying, it's very interesting is that like U.S. Like citizens don't carry ID, but ICE, they basically go around and they just like stop people and ask them to show them papers, but normally you don't have papers. Like regular U.S. citizens don't even have papers to prove that they're citizens here, so they just stop you just to stop you. And then they're like, they stop you on looks. So I was like, oh, then they, what they, but how can they tell between like Latinos or Latinas that have been here for a long time and just people that are just like, that are illegals? And like, he's like, I don't know, they just do. So I'm like, oh, it must be a look thing, right? Because, so then that's how I'm thinking, like, oh, they should go to like Goodwill and just get some new clothes, and maybe they'll blend in more, and the rates will go down. Boom, boom, boom. Last one. Oh no, never mind. Okay, I'll show you guys this apron order. Every single time, without fail. All right, this is one of my most popular designs. Okay, it is a head chef, shoe chef, couple's apron. The head chef for this one is Sean, and then the shoe chef for this one is Phyllis, and it has the date, So head chef, shoe chef, and I've said this a billion times. What I always, and usually people buy these as gifts, right? What I find crazy about this, okay, I'm gonna show it again. Head chef, Sean, and shoe chef, Phyllis. Okay, couples aprons, and this is my most popular design. And what I find crazy or very funny about this is that without fail, every single time, well, okay, not every single time, most of the time, they will buy, and like I said, they're usually gifts. They will buy head chef male, sous chef lady, and I just find it strange when people do that, because I always feel like usually the ladies do the cooking. Well, I don't know. New generation of ladies, I don't feel like they know how to cook, but so in general, the ladies do the cooking. And I find it strange that every single time, but most of the time, people have ordered that apron set. They always buy um, head chef guy and sous chef, assistant chef, the lady. I just find it weird because if make sure this works right. Okay. Rory. I find it weird because imagine if you put together a whole meal and it says sous chef, and then the other guy probably never even wears the head chef apron, and his says head chef. So just if you ever come across this design, and you want to order it for your friend, family, or whatever, please, I'm telling you, order head chef lady, sous chef guy. It would make a lot more sense uh, in the future because usually the ladies do the cooking. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense? All right, next one. This one's easy peasy. Okay. Twins, check mark, onesies. Lets you know which one's who. Ty and Rory. If this is for twins, sometimes people buy these for their like kids that are friends. What do I have to say about that? Okay. What I have to say about that one is for twins, I like it when the names rhyme. Right? If I had twins like kids, I would definitely have their names rhyme. Or do you guys think that that's lame? Some people don't like that, but I like it when the names are themed. If you have twins, like Bo and Arrow, that's a good twins name. You know, stuff like that. Like they go together or they rhyme. I don't know. Okay, I think I am. Dunsy onesies here. These are the letters that I made yesterday, so they're glued together now. They're Dunsies. These are ready to go out. And oh. This one I got to clip off. Alright, so this order is done. Alright, I'll see you guys later. When I'm on the computer, we can actually watch videos and check other things out and see what's going on in the world. Alright, thanks for hanging out with me. See you guys later.